Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya, if you're new, and today I'm very excited to be sharing with you a new oil pastel set that I received from Paul Rubens. And they have a couple from this kind of line. They have a floral set, and then they have this, like, they call it sea scenery colors. It's like a landscape seascape set. And then they have some other sets. So I was very interested. As you guys know, I love landscapes and scenes. So I really was interested in the scenery set. And I'm very, very grateful that they sent it to me, 72 colors. Now, I went through quite the process of this. So I am actually, instead of telling you about it, I'm going to show it to you in the video. You're going to see what happened. And basically, I removed the papers, I tried them out, and then I sorted them differently to get to know the product, because I really like to, I like to use my stuff. So it needs to be efficient for me. And so you're going to see what I did. And then we're going to go into me coloring some pages with this. So you're going to see the process of how I started to play with these, basically. So let's get into the video. So this is what the set looks like with the papers on, and I will explain later why I took those little papers off of the oil pastels. But I just want to show you what it looks like with the papers, and I'm even showing you how oily they are. So I'm going to be doing some coloring in these two books. These are like kind of like my experimental books and more of like a mixed media coloring books. And I think it's really important to have an experimental book where you just are not worried about it. You don't care about it that much, and you can really play around and experiment. And make sure that the paper is kind of a medium range. So it's not bad, it's not good, it's like a medium. And you can experiment in it. So that's what I do in here. So the first one I'm gonna work in is this one, nature. Second one is travel. So the first thing that I'm doing is just taking picking a page in my experimental book, and playing with the oil pastels just to get a feel for them. This is even before swatching them. I just decided to pick a page and start playing with them. Just put some colors on a page, not random, but I picked like a family of colors in my mind and started picking them up, putting them down, and working on a background. And you could see I'm using different colors here. Now, I don't know if you notice, but the lighter purple is much more creamy and much more opaque than the dark purple. So I am starting to notice that they're not all consistent, like they all don't have the same feel or the same consistency. Some are really soft and creamy. Some are a little harder and more like translucent / like patchier. So I'm noticing a difference in the colors. And later on you'll see what I do about it. But right now I'm just adding some different colors, some pinks, blues, and yellows, just to add some color. And I'm starting to blend out with my finger to see, do they feel like my mungios, the ones that I love to use this technique on with the finger, do they feel different? And I can already tell that some of them feel similar to the mungios, some of them feel very different. Some of them are a little patchier and hard to blend with my finger, and some are easier. So, but they do feel very different, I have to say. They do feel different than the mungios, and this is the only way to find this out is by actually working on a page. So here I'm adding some black to add some contrast to the page, to the background, make it look a little better. And I cleaned my hands, you saw earlier, with a makeup wipe. I don't have any problem getting my hands dirty, as you guys know. So I can see that when I'm using a different oil pastel, a neon, and I used the Q-tip, it was picking it up. It wasn't really blending well with the Q-tip. It was picking up the oil pastel off of the paper. So I stopped using the Q-tip, And like I said, these are things that you would only tell by actually using them in a page. It's not enough to like swatch them, and really need to use them in a page, and that's how you can tell, get an idea about how they are. So you got to use it to know it. Now I'm wiping off a little bit, and then I'm taking my satin glazing liquid, which I use to fix the oil pastels with a brush, and I'm just fixing that page with my brush, and you can just see the process there. And I already have some initial thoughts at this point on the oil pastels on the set. And you will see my next step is actually to swatch them. Here, I'm in the middle of taking the papers off. I just filmed a little clip of me slowly removing the papers. So I just wanted to film that for you. So here's what it looks like after I removed the papers, and so you could see the colors really nicely. I did break a couple, but that's okay. That's pretty normal with oil pastels, especially because I have a heavy hand. But these are the colors of the landscape set, and I love all the browns and kind of earth tones. That's what kind of drew me in, and all these beautiful blues also are fantastic. So here you could see me, I am starting to swatch the colors, and I wanted to explain why I removed the papers is because the papers were not the right color. They didn't match the color of the actual oil pastel, and I feel like that would confuse me and slow me down, and I don't like anything slowing me down. I try to make it efficient. So in order to enjoy my oil pastels, I need to know what the colors are, and I need to be able to see it pretty quickly and rely less on swatches, because the swatches are kind of sticky and, kind of messy. So I do swatch them, but I also need to just see the colors when I'm opening the box. So that's why I remove the papers, and I'm much happier with them like that without the paper, because I could see the actual color much better. And what I'm doing now is basically swatching to see which ones are creamy and which ones are more like translucent, like a little patchy. That's a color that I had to clean because it had a weird film on it. But so I'm checking, and I'm basically checking which oil pastels are creamier, which ones are more patchy, and I'm dividing them because it's not consistent. Some are really, really creamy and some are not. So I'm dividing them into the good ones and the less good, I guess. Okay, so I separated them. These are all really creamy. These are less creamy. So now I'm going to do a second step, separate these into really not creamy and then medium. These are not creamy, so I'm putting them on the bottom. So that way I can separate the really creamy ones on the top, less on the bottom, and I will know which ones I will want to use. So these are all the colors of the set. And I think you can see what I mean here when less pigmented, less creamy. And these are very pigmented and creamy. If you can tell. I don't know if you could tell the difference. This is less. You would really have to play with it to kind of see. So I divided it, and basically this row down here is not as creamy as, these three. So it's really one row, maybe one and a little bit. Like these are medium. Some of these are medium. But these two rows are very creamy. That way I know I probably won't use these for backgrounds, and I will know what I have to work with for backgrounds. So these are the creamiest colors in the set, and I love the colors. So that's plenty to work with. Luckily, some of my colors that I don't use as much are the ones that are like these I don't use as much, so it's okay. Okay, so I am starting now on the Inspired Coloring Travel coloring book, the one that I showed earlier. And it's another one of my experimental books. And I'm trying to do like a coloring basically where it's not like a full background. but more smaller areas. And I feel like these oil pastels are great for that, like this type of coloring. So I am starting with the trunk there, the path, then I'm doing the sky, as you could see. Doing the darker blues, lighter blues, and I'm using I'm trying to use some oil, but I think I abandoned that pretty quickly. It didn't really work. So I abandoned the oil, and I went back with my makeup applicator, and I'm blending that out with the makeup applicator, adding more oil pastel, and then I abandoned that and just went in with my finger. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing like my finger. For me personally, just works the best. And but for small areas, you could still use the makeup applicator. Now I'm adding some greens to those bushes there. Adding dark, middle, and light. So after I added the colors, I blended them. Again, you saw with the makeup the makeup applicator. I feel like the makeup applicator kind of works well for smaller areas, not for like a big sky background, you know. But I'm liking how it's working. I like how they're working with a makeup applicator for smaller areas and actual like a painting type of coloring. Which, you know, we don't always do necessarily in coloring. We usually have big backgrounds to do. But in this case, they are working really well with the makeup applicator, and a lot of these colors are beautiful and creamy. Now I'm working on the tree and the leaves and adding different shades of the green, and then I will go in with the makeup applicator and blend that out a little bit. Then I will be adding some greens to the little bushes there on the side of the house and blending that out as well. So here is the page so far. I ended up using some red oil pastels here, and then I stopped and I said, you know what? I'm going to do the rest with watercolor. So that is where I am right here, and I will hopefully show it to you in my completed pages. But I really like how it came out. Now I started working in Joanna Basford's Magical Worlds, her new book, and I just picked a page that had like a big background, and I wanted to do like a colorful sky with clouds and a silhouette of like, you know, trees or something on the bottom. So I'm starting with the base layer of the page, and I already know what colors are creamy at this point, so I'm trying to pick the creamier colors and add enough oil pastel there. And I did get a little messy on this page, I have to say, because I did accidentally get some on the pages nearby, but that's okay. I just wasn't careful, but I'm adding some pinks, adding some purples, blues, and I'm starting to blend it out with my finger the way that I like to do with my Mungio oil pastels. So I'm trying it with these. And with these particular colors, it's going well. They're not, I did struggle in some areas, but for the most part, it went well for the blending. And you can just see there that I'm doing. Then I took a little bit of my Q-tip. Sorry, my head is bobbing in there by accident. I'm trying to get close to the edge of the butterfly, or is that a moth maybe? So that's what I'm doing there. Then I'm adding some more oil pastel. I felt like it needed a little bit more, blending it out. And then I think I will fix it with my satin glazing liquid. And oops, see, that's where I got messy and it got on the other page because I wasn't careful. Then I'm doing the bottom there, the ground with like some warm browns and peaches. And then I will go in and fix that first layer with satin glazing liquid so that I can continue on top of that and add my other elements. But yeah, don't be like me. Be more careful. Put papers in between. So this is how it kind of came out after I fixed it. Now this is like, I would say, a base layer. And I'm going to be going on top to add things to this. Some more background and maybe some clouds. So I'm going to add to this. This was like the base, basically a base color. And I accidentally, if you could see here with my finger, went like this in my nail, and I did it kind of scraped off the oil pastel. So that is something to note when you add a thick layer. But I did struggle a little bit with the blending. I don't know if you could tell how it's a little bit patchy. That's okay. I will be covering it. But yeah, I do notice a little patchiness compared to my gold standard, which you guys know what that is. But I still like the colors. So this is the base layer, and maybe I will show you how I do the rest. So I was going to end the video there, but then I thought, nah, they're probably going to want to see the clouds. So I decided to film this part as well. And I decided to add some pink clouds. And I really love pink clouds. I don't know what it is. So I decided to add that. Now, at first, it's going to look a little scribbly. You could see that I am adding basically some blue or purple and red to the bottom to make like a magenta color, because I didn't have like that kind of color in the set. Unfortunately, I don't know why I picked a scene that is not really conducive to this set, because this set is about landscapes, seascapes. I don't know why I decided to do like a pinky pastel-y background with clouds with this set, but I don't know. Probably it's because it's Joanna Basford's Magical World. But you could see that I'm adding white to the top. You could see that I'm blending it out. I did white on the top, darker on the bottom, some middle, pinks in between, and then I blend it. So you can see here I'm starting with the white, and then I will do some pinks. I will add a little bit of peach also, and then like a little bit of a darker, I used a little bit of the red and the purple in the bottom to make that dark magenta that I don't really have. So I'm just using a little bit of the red. So, and then once you blend it with your finger, it comes out really nice. So it's basically like an oil pastel painting, really. So I'm starting to blend a little bit with the makeup applicator, as you could see. And then I go to my finger to really blend it out even better and give it like a fuzzy kind of feel, like clouds, It really blends so well with your finger. It's just incredible how quickly you can add color, so much color, and get so much done in such a quick amount of time. It's crazy. So I decided to add I needed a little bit more drama on the bottom, so I added some black at the base of each cloud, if you saw, and at the bottom there of the brown part that is like the ground. And then I'm taking one of my makeup applicators and blending it out, and just to add a little bit more contrast. I felt like I needed a little bit more. And I am really loving how it is turning out. I love the colors, love the pink clouds. Just up my alley, I guess. So this is how the background came out so far. And I will be adding stars and stuff like that. So I will add to it. But this is where I am at the moment. And I love how it came out. So here I'm showing you a inspiration photo on my iPad of Niagara Falls, and I decided to look up an inspiration photo and do this page in Legendary Worlds of Niagara Falls. I think it's Niagara Falls. And the reason is I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing pink backgrounds, pink and purple backgrounds, when I have a sea scenery set in front of my face? This beautiful oil pastel set is a landscape. It's a seascape. Sea scenery is the name of the set. So I'm like, why am I not doing a sea scenery page on this video? It didn't make any sense. So finally, I looked for a nice page for me that kind of to use these pastels. And I found this page, and it's a very large book, so it's perfect. So as you can see, I'm using kind of turquoisey blues. I'm using a little bit of that light green, If you hear my kids in the background, I'm sorry, they're here playing in the other room. But I'm using some greens, as you can see. I basically use like 4 different colors. And you can see I'm really trying to add a lot of oil pastel to make this work. And I'm blending with my finger horizontally. I'm trying to do as much horizontal as I can too, because that really makes it look like water. So you could see I added dark in some different areas and light, a lot of light, but I did add some darks. And when you blend it together, it really looks beautiful like water, and different parts are shallow, different parts are deeper. And of course the shadow under the boat. But then I'm using a little bit of the makeup applicator just to go around to different areas. And now I am starting on the actual waterfall. So you could see I'm following the illustrator's lead. I'm adding strokes of darkness. I think I'm using black first and then the blue in upward strokes where the illustrator has shown me that there's shadow. So I'm just following the illustrator's lead there. And it might look like scribbly, but once it's finished, it's going to look great. You'll see. So I'm adding strokes, then I'm going to go lighter and lighter. So now I'm moving to the lighter blue, a little bit lighter, and then I'll start with the turquoisey, like greeny blues, teal colors after that. And just progressively going lighter with strokes upwards. The lighter the color, the higher I'm going with my stroke, if you can see. And then I'm on the top there are some areas of shade, so I'm going on top of those areas as well with oil pastel, again following the lead of the illustrator. And the rest will be a lot of white, because when water falls, it has like a white look. I'm adding a little bit of that beautiful light blue and then a lot of white on top of it. And now I'm starting to blend a little bit with my makeup applicator, and then I will move on to my finger, because there's nothing like using my fingers. So starting with the makeup applicator, and I'm doing like upward strokes, and I'm adding more white. You can see I could feel like I needed a little bit more oil pastels. And I'm doing vertical strokes with my fingers to create that effect of like falling water. So you can kind of slowly see it coming together. And I probably will use oil pastels on the sky as well later on, I'm thinking. Haven't done it yet at the time of this recording, but I'm loving how it's coming out. So I'm taking the darker blue and adding some shading wherever the illustrator put like black. And then I'm going to blend that out. Then I took more white. I felt like I needed more white, going on top wherever there's like the water is like splashing, it's white. So this is how the page came out so far. I love how it came out. I will do some more finishing touches, so it's not complete. I think I'm going to blend out this area a little bit more and do the sky as well. I don't know if I'll use oil pastel or something else. I'm not sure. But that is how it came out so far. So that is all I have for you in today's video. A big, big thank you to Paul Rubens for sending me this beautiful set, Sea Scenery Colors. And you can see this beautiful painting is so inspiring. I love it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got inspired. I will leave all the links to this set and any coupon codes if you're interested in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and all your support on Instagram and here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful week and month of coloring, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.